Good morning and thank you for joining us for this special weather impact edition of Sunrise. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. We know yesterday Portland got up to 91 degrees. Today, Chris McGinnis is calling for a high of 98 here in Portland. We have team coverage on this. Thomas Schultz has more on heat-related illnesses that you can look out for if you plan to be outside today. But first, let's go over to Chris for the latest on his forecast.
Yeah, up to 72 degrees, by the way, last check at PDX. And for perspective from yesterday, that is 13 degrees warmer right now than we were 24 hours ago. Aurora, that 17 means 17 degrees warmer than yesterday morning at this time. So the air down low is warmer than it was yesterday at this time, and even the air up high, the freezing level is a little higher, which indicates that the air mass above us is warmer than it was yesterday at this time. And that all points to today being hotter, significantly, I think, than yesterday. PDX hit 91 yesterday. The heat advisory remains in effect until 10 o'clock for everywhere in this peach shading, and for good reason, with high temperatures forecast to be anywhere from 95 to 100 degrees. So do what you can to limit your exertion during the high heat of the day between about 1 and 6. And if you are out there, certainly stay hydrated. 72 last check at PDX. Again, we are on our way to a high of 98 this afternoon. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. Several counties in the Portland area have opened up cooling centers this week, with the city's hottest day of the year perhaps coming today.
But the largest county in the area, Multnomah County, hasn't opened any. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us from downtown Portland. So Thomas, let's start with who has opened cooling centers.
Yeah, well, Drew and China, Clackamas County has been very attentive to this, opening 20 centers yesterday. That's going to stretch into today as well. Marion and Yamhill County have also opened several cooling centers apiece. Washington County has not opened any, although they do say people can go visit public areas where there is air conditioning in buildings like libraries and community centers. In Multnomah County, once again, cooling centers are not open, though employees spent Tuesday morning handing out cooling kits at the Gateway Transit Center. Multnomah County says it hasn't opened cooling centers yet because temperatures have not yet reached the threshold to open those facilities. Still, county officials warn some of the most vulnerable people may be trying to ride out this heat wave in really hot homes.
Most of the folks who are showing up in emergency departments and who are dying during heat events they're experiencing that heat exposure in their own homes where they don't have cooling.
So to counteract that, even though they haven't opened cooling shelters or cooling centers, that is, Multnomah County has opened misting stations and fountains at park to get some of that water going to help people cool off. So that's a good place to bring your kids, or if you want to cool off yourself, a good place to go. You can find all that information on an interactive map on the county website. But guys, obviously, when you have heat like this, you're going to want to bring the hats out as well, whether you're getting some water in, whether you're not. Thankfully, KGW, they've got us covered here with these good looking things right here. So all morning long, you're gonna see our reporters all around town covering heat, rocking things just like this, guys.
If you're keeping score at home, that's the second hat worn today by Tommy Schultz. Had that cowboy straw hat working earlier. Now he's got the KGW baseball cap. Looks good either way, if you ask me. Ball cap Tommy. All right.
Ball cap Tommy.
If we could please, getting you back to serious matters, we do have a list of cooling centers and open fountains all around the Portland area, available on our website, KGW.com. If you text that word cool to that number on your screen, 503-226-5088, we will text you back with a link to that list on our website.
All right, your time now is 8:03. We are keeping a close eye on the Cramp Fire burning northeast of Madras. It has since grown to more than 40,000 acres and is still 0% contained. This is a time lapse of the fire from last night. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek has greenlit more resources to help fight the fire as task forces from outside Jefferson and Wasco counties are on the way there. Now, roughly 300 people are now in level 3 go now evacuation zones. That's the red on that map. Those evacuations cover parts of both Jefferson and Wasco counties and are getting close to the town of Madras as well as both sides of Highway 97.
All right, meanwhile, the first phase of cleanup is underway following last month's Rowena fire in the gorge west of the Dalles. This fire destroyed nearly 60 homes in the area. It also burned almost 4,000 acres. A task force is working to clear that area of any hazardous materials and take those materials to a hazmat landfill.
Essentially removing hazardous waste from the ash piles, and that's like propane tanks, pressurized cylinders like welding gases. You might find some paint cans or things like that. A lot of the stuff you would normally expect to see around your own house.
All right, again, talking here about the cleanup effort in the gorge. It is extensive, and because of that, it could be weeks before homeowners can start rebuilding there.
And a reminder this morning, starting tomorrow, campfires, portable stoves, and personal fires of any kind are prohibited in the Mount Hood National Forest. It's always a good idea to check fire restrictions before you head to any local campsite or before traveling anywhere outdoors. It's official. The name of Portland's new What? I could do it too.
Yeah, you got that going. Go.
Thank you. The new WNBA team is called the Portland Fire. It's the same name Portland's previous WNBA team used from 2000 to 2002. The new Portland Fire team will kick off their inaugural season next May, and they'll share the Moda Center with the Blazers for home games. The team is owned by Raj Sports, which also owns the Portland Thorns.
I was hoping you'd bring back the announcer voice. Give it to me one more time. Who are they? What is this team's name?
Portland Thorns.
And the Portland what?
Fire.
That's the one I'm talking about, yeah. KGW's Catherine Cook went to the Fire's launch party yesterday. You want to do it again?
Fire.
And talk to excited fans about the Fire's return to the city.
Fire.
Outside Moda Center, fans put up with the heat to embrace the Portland Fire.
Portland! Portland! Portland!
Portland's new WNBA franchise made it official Tuesday, revealing their team name and logo. See what they did there with the rose and the flames?
I really like it.
The Fire is the same team name Portland went with 25 years ago during its first and short-lived run in the league. That's a bummer for some folks.
They kind of just were lazy about the name, if I'm honest. I thought it was an opportunity to be really fun, and that's fine.
I know he has opinions on it, but I like it. I really like the logo. I think it's really cool.
Were there other options? Sure.
I would have done Portland Swifts, but I think I'm going to embrace it.
Speaking of embracing it.
Yeah, 2002.
Erin Sloan wasted no time dusting off her throwback merch. She's waited 25 years for the Fire's return.
It's like the Portland Fire. I was in like 5th and 6th grade when I went to all the games. I'm so excited. I was like bawling in my car when I found out that we were getting a team back.
We're going to bring the city a championship ring. That much I do know.
As fans warm up to the Fire's name,
I kind of like it, but I don't know how I feel about it yet.
the littlest embers can't wait
I like that they're women and I'm a woman.
to see them in action. Catherine Cook, KGW News.
All right, from that big party yesterday at the Moda Center, we're now going to take a moment to look back at the OG Portland Fire.
What does OG stand for?
We went over this before. Original Gangsta.
That's not what you were going to say before.
I did think maybe OG stood for old school, which wouldn't make any sense. That would be OS. But then I realized original gangster, right?
Very good. Evan Watson brings us inside the KGW vault to see what the team was like 25 years ago.
Portland had a WNBA team, the Portland Fire, which played at the Rose Garden from 2000 to 2002. The Fire averaged more than 8,000 fans at its home games, which was higher than the league average. Jackie Stiles won the Rookie of the Year award in 2001. But in the Fire's 3 seasons in the league, the team failed to post a winning record, finishing best at 16-16 in 2002. The team was owned by Paul Allen, but the Fire fizzled out after just 3 seasons in the league, for financial reasons and a lack of new ownership investment. Here's what former Portland Fire player Jenny Moe told us about that moment.
It was a shock, I think, to all of us. We were just like, wait, what? But we have a good fan base. Like, people are coming to our games, and why would you do that? But yeah, it was really weird to come back to nothing.
The new Portland WNBA team will be the league's 15th team, playing in a city that's known to support women's sports.
Of course, the Fire will make their debut on the court next June, in the summertime. Did you not realize this was going to be a group shot?
That's just you.
Really?
Hydrating.
I'm just hydrating because it's so hot.
Wow.
It's my segue to Chris.
That's good work.
Keep going.
Chris?
Somebody's keeping things in line here. Good job. All right, China. Yes, to China's point, all the things, right? Stay out of the sun if you can. Stay hydrated if you have to work out in the heat today. It's already up to 76 in Beaverton, 72 last check at PDX, which is a whole 10 to 12 degrees warmer right now than we were yesterday at this time. So again, the air mass is warmer. It's leading to warmer temperatures to start. That will serve as the springboard to a hotter afternoon today. And I point this out because the freezing level, they measure this from the balloon that they release at Salem twice a day. The freezing level is higher this morning. That's the altitude at which the temperature drops to 32 degrees, right? It's above the Cascade Peaks at 16,000 feet. Which brings me to my next point, which is look at that, 16 degrees warmer right now in Hillsborough than we were yesterday. So the air mass all the way around is warmer. High confidence in temperatures of 95 to 100 degrees this afternoon. So the heat advisory remains in effect from basically the Canadian border all the way south along the I-5 corridor to south of Eugene through 10 o'clock today. So do what you can to stay hydrated, especially if you're working out in the sun. Just limit your exertion during the hottest part of the day between 1 and 6 o'clock today. Here's Futurecast. Our modeling again has Portland well into the mid-90s this afternoon to maybe upper 90s. The 96, by the way, is the hottest day of the year, and our forecast today is 98. So we think we do even one better than that before some cooling comes in tomorrow. We'll wake up to some morning cloud cover, which will take some time to burn off, which takes some of the sting out of the heat and maybe keeps us only in the upper 80s for highs tomorrow, mid to upper 80s on Friday, and then a much more comfortable weekend ahead. All right, want to get you out the door with a traffic alert. We pick it up down in Milwaukee. I don't have any details on this crash yet, but I can tell you right now that McLaughlin Boulevard, 99E, is closed at Oak Grove Boulevard. Sorry for the misspelling there. Your traffic solution to get around that, either Oatfield Road or River Road. This crash happened about 30 minutes ago, and we're working to get more details on that. But right now, 99E, a no-go through Milwaukee. Let's take you over to Tualatin. There's a live look at I-5. Your northbound commute slowing near the 205 interchange. The drive in from Wilsonville, not bad. It's 31 minutes or so to get you in from Wilsonville Road to downtown. And as we check out the east side of Vancouver, boy, that's a much better looking drive today than it was yesterday. Remember the traffic jam we had yesterday? That's cleared out. And the end of the line on the I-5 drive has made its way south of SR 500. So things are starting to improve on that side of town. That said, it's still slow through North Portland. 26 minutes gets you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge, guys.
Yo, Chris.
Drew.
Thank you.
I'm trying.
That line will de-energize very quickly, and we will not restore power to that section of the line.
Still ahead here at 8 o'clock, PGE's focus on minimizing wildfires could also mean longer outages for some PGE customers. We're going to show you how the company's enhanced power line safety settings work. Plus,
new data showing inflation ticking up a notch is raising questions about the impact of President Trump's tariff moves. I'm Alice Barr in Washington. Latest details coming up.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Welcome back to Sunrise. As wildfire season heats up, Portland General Electric is dialing up its efforts to reduce fire danger, and that includes tweaking the ways that their power lines work. Chris McGinnis takes a look at how power line safety measures could impact PGE customers.
It's called Enhanced Power Line Safety Settings, a set of tools PGE uses to help prevent its equipment from sparking a wildfire.
One of those tools that we have is what we call enhanced system settings, or where we increase the sensitivity of our power lines.
During fire season, PGE's protective devices detect even minor faults, like contact from a branch or debris, and shut off power more quickly.
That line will de-energize very quickly, and we will not restore power to that section of the line until our crews have gone out to actually inspect it to make sure it is actually safe.
On red flag days or other days when fire danger is high, automatic restoration is disabled. That can mean longer outages, but it's all in the name of safety.
When we have these really enhanced fire risk settings active on our power lines, that does mean that sometimes outages will last a little bit longer, because again, we need to make sure that that power line is safe before we turn the power back on, because the last thing we want to do is restore power on a power line that then introduces new risk.
PGE says these settings are now business as usual in high fire risk zones, and it will keep using them as long as fire danger remains.
Chris McGinnis, KGW News.
And there's the man. This guy is working so hard today. He's wearing 3 different hats.
Oh, my goodness.
Number one, that was a good report you just did with PG.
Yeah, it's important to know, and I think the significant part about that is that, like, you know, this is their normal operating procedure now that they're trying to do to you know, make sure we don't spark any more fires. And I talked to John Farmer, the representative there from PGE, and he says all people understand is, oh, my power's off, and why is it off longer? And they want to know. And that was their attempt to explain why.
And my attempt at explaining why you're sliding into the desk in the studio so like last minute today. He's wearing 3 different. Do you have those hats ready? He's wearing 3 hats.
Thomas has got them up on the roof.
No, you've got them right here, Chris. He's a reporter today, based on that last report. There's one hat. Okay. He's doing the traffic for us. You got that hat?
There are traffic alerts to share with you in a few minutes.
And he's also doing weather for us today. There's your weather hat.
Off because it's just too hot. So we're gonna do that. Okay.
Hats on, jacket off.
Now we're feeling better. Okay, let's do that. First off, the heat, and that is the story today. Sunshine out there today right now, 72 degrees last check at PDX, and as we've been mentioning, it's warmer today. You're going to notice, I mean, everybody in the newsroom said, oh, wow, it's warm out there. It's the first thing you're going to notice when you step outside, aside from the fact that it's bright and sunny. That 13 in Vancouver and Portland means that it is 13 degrees warmer right now than it was yesterday at this time. Aurora is 17 degrees warmer. I've seen some readings along the Highway 26 corridor heading up towards Government Camp that are 15 to 20 degrees warmer now than 24 hours ago. So we're warmer. The air mass above us is warmer than it was, and all of that points to full go temperatures being much warmer today than we were yesterday. We were 91 yesterday. 75 in Beaverton, 76 right now in Tigard, and Aurora can be at last check now up to 80, 73 in Salem and 72 in Kaiser. Heat advisory in effect through 10 o'clock this evening for all of those areas shaded in that peach shading. So again, full confidence in afternoon highs of 95 to 100 degrees. Limit your exertion during the heat of the day. If you have to work outside, certainly take some breaks and drink plenty of water. Through the gorge today, we're going to feel the west breeze. Cascade locks towards Corbett especially. East End not so much. Regardless, the breeze will be of little consolation as it feels like a hairdryer in the face with temperatures in the mid-90s. Now that we've got more light of the day, it's pretty cool to watch the evolution of the marine deck and the low clouds of the coast, which are peeling away. If you watched us earlier this morning, it was foggy at the Chinook Winds Casino Resort Camera in Lincoln City. It's still comfortable and cool at 49, but the cloud cover is now peeling away, and we're on our way to a sunny day, a mostly sunny day, I think, for much of the Oregon coast. 76 in Pacific City, 73 in Astoria, with a light north and northeast breeze. In the valley, the sky is clear. It's a little hazy. It's tough to make out Mount Hood in the distance there from our Chehalem tasting room camera in Sherwood. So with that, there could be a little bit of wildfire smoke and haze in the air. Again, that from the fires that are burning east of the Cascades this morning. It will not have any impact on the temperatures at this point. Sometimes the wildfire smoke gets thick enough that it drops the temperature down a few degrees. We don't think that happens. I've got Salem at 99 and up and down the I-5 corridor. Again, all of us warmer than yesterday. Longview 94, Battleground getting up to 96, 98 in Vancouver, and Portland 98. Not a record, but this will become our warmest day of the year so far. Now, morning clouds come in overnight early tomorrow morning, so that'll help take some of the sting out of the heat and some of the energy of the sun, right? So that'll cool us a few degrees for Thursday and Friday, and more so getting into a comfortable weekend, we think, for Saturday and Sunday. All right, let's pick it up with the drive right now. We've got a traffic alert in Milwaukee right now. 99E is closed at Oak Grove Boulevard because of a multiple car crash. The latest update, and it's not much, that we got from Oregon State Police is that there are a few cars involved here and a few injury reports. And 99E right now is closed completely at Oak Grove Boulevard. So you're going to want to use River Road or perhaps Oak Grove Boulevard to get around that. We had an earlier fender bender reported on Highway 30, St. Helens Road out near Kittredge. It looks like that is clear, but traffic's still a little thick on that side of town. And your drive times right now look like this. I-5 from Wilsonville, about 33 minutes. Interstate 84 coming in from Troutdale, just shy of 30. China, back to you.
Thank you, Chris. Coming up, dramatic video from a factory fire in Alabama. Look at that. Fire crews are asked to bring their own water to fight the flames. That's ahead in your national headlines.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Analysts say recent tariffs by the Trump administration are starting to have an impact on inflation, and now the feds are working to drive down inflation after it rose 0.3% month over month in June. NBC's Alice Barr brings us details from Washington, D.C.
In a new snapshot of the U.S. economy, inflation picked up a notch in June, raising questions about the impact of President Trump's tariffs, beginning to slowly work their way through the economy, concerns he downplayed.
Very slight. Essentially, they were exactly as anticipated, very low inflation. So what you should do is lower the rate. The Fed should lower the rate immediately.
The president ramping up his pressure on Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell to lower interest rates, decreasing the cost of borrowing money. Though any sign of rising prices will complicate the Fed's next moves as it works to drive inflation down below 2%.
What is important here is that the rate of change, how quickly prices are changing, is increasing.
The new report showing consumer prices rose 2.7% in June, 0.3% higher than in May, a slight reversal from the overall downward trend this year. In tariff-targeted sectors, the price of appliances, toys, furniture, and bedding all rose, while the cost of a new vehicle dropped.
What we're realizing is that it takes a lot longer for tariffs to sort of work their way through the economy, and we may still see, again, inflation continue to rise.
President Trump rejects that idea, adamant tariffs are bringing in big money and pointing to new investments in the U.S., including in energy and AI, rolling out more news Tuesday in Pennsylvania.
More than $56 billion in new energy infrastructure and more than $36 billion in new data center projects.
President Trump betting big on his vision for the economy. Experts are warning about a new term, sneakflation, where companies find subtle ways to pass on their increased costs without changing the list price. Tactics like lowering the quality of the product, shortening return windows, and ending free shipping. All things to watch out for. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Now to your morning rush. The Senate narrowly advanced President Trump's $9 billion spending cuts package. The package effectively gives back $9 billion in previously approved funding for foreign aid and public broadcasting. The Senate will hold a final vote on the proposal later this week. After that, the House will need to vote before it expires on Friday. Forecasters are keeping a very close eye on the Gulf Coast right now because there's growing concern for another significant rain and flooding event this week. Right now, the would-be storm is a broad area of showers and thunderstorms over the Florida Peninsula. And take a look at this crazy video from Alabama. A factory that makes pressure-treated wood products caught on fire and exploded. 30 different agencies responded to fight the flames, and many were asked to bring their own water due to the lack of access to fire hydrants near the factory. The fire took nearly a full day to completely put out. And the nominees for this year's Emmy Awards were announced yesterday. Apple TV's hit show Severance led the way with 27 nominations, followed closely by HBO's The Penguin with 24. This year's awards ceremony airs this September. And that's your Morning Rush. Well, coming up at 8:30, a new video shows Travis Decker just days before he allegedly killed his 3 young daughters. They're 11 with Washington Plus. We are continuing to track the hot temperatures coming our way this KGW Weather Impact Alert Day. Tips on how to keep your pets safe in the heat next.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We're coming up on 8:29 on this Wednesday morning. I want to pick it up with that earlier traffic alert in Milwaukee. Just hearing from ODOT that 99E has reopened after that multi-car injury crash. So 99E just now flowing again near Oak Grove Boulevard. Back to the west side, there's your inbound Sunset. The lineup starts out near 217. Slow and go certainly coming in from the Bethany and Beaverton area. Right now you're about 26 minutes or so from Hillsborough. And the I-5 drive is still slow and steady through North Portland and back up to SR14. At last report, we're looking at nearly 30 minutes to get you in from Main Street down to the Fremont Bridge. We continue with our KGW Weather Impact Alert Day for that heat advisory, again in effect for all the areas shaded in orange until 10 o'clock. It's bright, it's sunny, it's warmer out there this morning than yesterday at this time. 72 now at PDX. It's 76 in Hillsborough, 75 Wilsonville, Salem checking in with 73. The plan for today has Portland getting to 98 degrees. Not a record, but easily our hottest day of the year thus far, before we have some cooler weather coming in for Thursday and Friday. Yep.
8:30 half hour of sunrise on this Wednesday morning. This is a live look from our sky cam at Providence Park, because tonight the Timbers are going to be playing at 7:30 there at Providence Park, and yes, it will still be hot at 7:30 tonight. So a quick reminder, if you're headed to the game trying to stay cool, sealed water bottles are allowed inside Providence Park, but outside cans and bottles and refillable metal water bottles are not allowed. You following all that as we say good morning. Good morning on a Wednesday.
Good morning.
China Green is here.
Good morning.
I'm here.
You're here.
Chugging.
Rod Hill is not here. Isn't it funny how Rod Hill always misses the big weather days, it seems?
You know, to give him a break, I guess I'll do that. I'll be nice.
Yes, but
he's got lots of vacation time, and you got to take some in the summer. And lately, the way summer's going, it's going to be hot. But yeah, he does seem to miss.
There you go. But the agreement factor is there.
All that is to say, we miss you, Rod. All right, let's come back to this. The heat advisory in effect until 10 o'clock today for all the areas in peach and orange, but orangish peach shading, whatever you want to call it, until 10 o'clock again from basically the Canadian border south of Eugene, the entire Willamette Valley, portions of the upper Hood River Valley as well. High confidence in high temperatures today between 95 and 100 degrees, becoming our hottest day of the year, we think, thus far. So limit your exertion outside during the heat of the day. If you do have to work out in the heat, take frequent breaks, stay hydrated, and just monitor yourself. Check in, like, how do you feel? Probably not going to feel very good, so maybe postpone that work if you can. 72 last check at the airport. I keep pointing this out. The freezing level is higher. The temperatures are warmer this morning than yesterday. 13 degrees warmer right now in Portland, 17 degrees warmer right now than we were 24 hours ago. Yesterday we hit 99. That doesn't mean we're going to be 104 today. It just means that we are on a springboard to be hotter than yesterday. So with that in mind, you can see futurecast as temperatures near 88, 87, 88 by noon, and probably getting up to 90 in the noon hour between noon and 1 o'clock this afternoon. So with all that being said, obviously folks need to take precaution and do what they can to stay cool in this hot weather. Thomas Schultz is out there braving the warming sun this morning to give us the full report.
Yeah, Chris, I want to go back to something you just mentioned about people making sure they're taking precautions if they're working out in the heat. That's actually a state law for employers. Under Oregon state law, employers have to protect their workers from heat illnesses and make sure that they get certain things that are regulated. This is things like shade, adequate amounts of water, and also rest time when they're working out in the heat on a hot day like it's going to be today. All of those kick into effect when the heat index hits 80 degrees. More precautions are taken once we hit 90. Now, workers are also advised to know their rights and speak up if they're not feeling well.
The risks are too high. It's absolutely critical that people say something, and if they're not feeling well, report it to the supervisor so that they can take the rest they need in shade and possibly receive the medical care that they need.
And even if you aren't working in the heat all day, Portland metro counties are urging people, of course, to drink plenty of water today. Avoid sugary drinks and alcohol on a day like today. It's also important to check in on neighbors, family, and friends, particularly those people who are living alone as well. And Drew, we were talking just a couple of minutes ago off camera about the sun and how it's kind of blazing on us today. Of course, here at KGW, we have all of our preparations in place. We got the sunglasses up here today, guys. This is something, whether you're working like us out in the field, you're gonna need. Everybody's gonna need their shades out there today in this heat.
That's a good move, because I think it was the last time we saw you live up there, China was saying he needs sunglasses.
Yeah.
The sun looks like it was staring right into your eyes. I'll join you with that, my friend. I don't know where China's glasses are.
Where do you guys just get these? You just bring them to work and they're on your desk?
Oh yeah, you got a plan, China.
But guys, I know you got some tips and tools of the trade to get to before we let you go, though. This is one you pick up down to the deep south. Everybody there, they've got in Alabama and Mississippi, they've got their umbrellas not for the rain, but for the sun. And I know Portland's got a contentious relationship when it comes to umbrellas, but today, I mean, guys, it's gonna do the trick out there.
You gotta stay cool from the sunshine.
We have a great relationship with you, Thomas Schultz. Wonderful job reporting on the heat today there in downtown Portland. Serious reminder, we do have a list of cooling centers and open fountains all around the Portland metro area available on our website, KGW.com. If you text that word cool To that number on your screen, 503-226-5088. We will text you back with a link to that list on our website.
And don't forget to take extra care of your pets during the hot weather. The Oregon Humane Society says pets should be kept indoors as much as possible. Give them plenty of water and avoid taking them on walks on hot pavements that can burn paws. If I see you walking your dogs today and they're on hot pavement and it's black or it's just super hot outside, I will yell at you from my car. So if you hear someone screaming at you, it's me. But anyways.
But you won't be walking.
I will be driving and I will be yelling at you and I will steal your dog. All right, so you should also watch for signs of heat stress in your dogs or cats, like heavy panting, drooling, and of course, never leave pets in parked cars. All right, your time is 8:35 right now. A judge has granted an emergency order preventing a Portland family who was detained at a park on the Canadian border from being deported.
So the mom, the dad, the grandmom, all of them from Honduras, and they're going to stay in custody now in Washington, at least for the time being. Meanwhile, their 4 children, all of them U.S. citizens, are back here in Portland with a guardian. For more on this story, here's KGW's Alma McCarty.
There's all these crazy things that have been going on, and you hit so many roadblocks.
At least one obstacle cleared for now, with a federal judge in Seattle granting a temporary restraining order on Monday, stopping the feds from removing Jackie Merlos and her family from the court's jurisdiction. As family friend Mimi Letnich puts it, this move came just in time.
The kids, as we understand it, they were all at SeaTac Airport. And so we got a call in the afternoon asking if we would like to come get the children.
All 4 U.S. citizen children under the age of 10 now safe in Portland. And oddly enough, Mimi says, with brand new passports.
They certainly don't need to move around the United States with a passport.
Merlos was arrested in Peace Arch Park on June 28th. The Customs and Border Protection spokesperson says for, quote, attempting to smuggle illegal aliens into the U.S. Her friend says the family was there visiting Merlos' sister, a Canadian citizen.
The fundamental issue still exists. You know, why she should not be in custody.
The family was detained, lawmakers say, for 2 weeks without due process. On Sunday, several legislators, including Senators Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley and Representative Maxine Dexter, pressured DHS to allow Merlos access to her attorney, calling the case urgent and egregious. The judge's emergency ruling, they said, is a legal lifeline to provide critical protection.
One more note to Alma's report there. According to court documents, a hearing is set for Friday. Now, attorneys for Merlos will be pushing for her release. Meanwhile, the judge wrote in her emergency order that Merlos has supposedly accepted a voluntary return to her country of origin, but then the judge also expressed doubt that her voluntary return was actually voluntary.
New video obtained by our sister station in Seattle shows Travis Decker just days before police say he killed his 3 young daughters outside Leavenworth, Washington. You can see Decker here in the white shirt leaning on a truck while police in Chelan County responded to a fender bender in late May. They say Decker hit another driver. He was cited for not having insurance and following too closely. The driver of the car Decker hit described him as nervous and fidgety and said that Decker pleaded with him not to call police, saying he was worried he'd go to jail. Decker was also tied to a hit and run earlier that month, but that driver did not press charges. The manhunt for Decker is still ongoing. Meantime, the Trump administration has pulled back $450 million that was meant to help cap the I-5 freeway in the Rose Quarter area. The cap would reconnect the historically black Albina neighborhood, which was ripped apart when the freeway went in. The grant was awarded to Albina Vision Trust during the Biden administration to make the project happen. Despite the setback, the nonprofit says its mission to transform the Albina district back into a unified, livable neighborhood is stronger than ever.
This project will get completed. It might not be right now, might not be a couple days down the road, but we remain deeply confident and resiliently optimistic about the future of this work here in this area of our city.
The director of the government affairs for the Albina Vision Trust, who you just heard from there, says it's important for city and state leaders to do even more to support the long-term work, repairing communities that were damaged in the past.
All right, big news yesterday. The WNBA announcing Portland's new team will have an old name. It's going to be the Portland Fire once again. We spoke to the team's interim president, Claire Hamill. You saw her there a moment ago. Claire is a former Nike executive with a history of big support for women in sports. Now, she says the team name is a nod to the past, but also right now the primary focus is the team's future.
I think the colors will be fresh. I think bringing in the fire pink, brown, all the colors that you're seeing, the blue. It's going to feel like a brand new, fresh brand. Same name, brand new face. There's going to be a lot of opportunity to bring talent in. There's a lot of free agents this year. The timing is great.
So far, the Fire have collected more than 11,000 season ticket deposits, and Hamill says that the franchise is going to start converting those deposits into full-time season ticket sales sometime in September.
The Portland Fire, we're all excited about that, but one thing we're not too excited about is how hot it's going to be here in the city.
Well, just wait a day. It'll get a little bit better, and the day after that, it'll get better and better and better, and then the weekend will be here. It'll be all good. Yes, to that point, it is going to be a really hot day, and that is why today is a KGW Weather Impact Alert Day. We are off to a warmer start by far than we were yesterday. That's the first thing you're going to notice when you step outside this morning. The temperatures are warmer, even the freezing level. Why that's significant, that's measured by the balloon that gets released in Salem twice a day. The freezing level is kind of a proxy for how warm the atmosphere is above us, and it's higher. So you got to go higher up to get to that freezing temperature this morning. So that means the air mass is warmer, and that's what this map shows us. We are 13 degrees warmer at PDX and Vancouver than yesterday. This time 16 degrees warmer in Hillsborough, and the core of that warming air is right over the I-5 corridor. So high confidence in temperatures in the upper 90s to maybe near 100 degrees this afternoon. Tigard 78, 76 in Wilsonville. Salem has jumped up to 73 at last check. Heat advisory in effect for all of these locations in this peach shading from the Canadian border along the I-5 corridor all the way south to Eugene, the whole Willamette Valley, parts of the Gorge, and the lower Columbia as well. Futurecast, again, shows temperatures inching to the upper 90s late this afternoon, and then we'll finally realize a little bit of cooling overnight tonight and maybe some morning cloud cover tomorrow, which will help cool us off even more. But in the meantime, do what you can to stay hydrated. If you have to work outside, just limit your exertion during the heat of the day. Our forecast, 98 today. And then the morning cloud cover tomorrow will take some of the sun's energy out of heating us, right? So we think that keeps us in the upper 80s tomorrow and Friday, and then a pleasant weekend ahead. So better days are ahead. Just one more hot day to get through, and then nothing scorchingly hot in the extended forecast, even beyond what I have here on my 7-day. Let's get you out the door with a look at the roads, and for that, we start off with the drive times. Right now, the inbound Sunset, one of our slower commutes, about 30 minutes to get you in for Brookwood Parkway. We'll switch gears real quick on the traffic map. I want to zoom into Highway 26 and show you that inbound drive at Sylvan. So the normal slow and go there. The trip from Clark County is also slow, but this graphic is a little misleading because the end of the line, so to speak, has made its way down to the interstate bridge. You're right there at I-5 at SR 14. That's where the lineup begins. It's still pretty thick, though, through North Portland. You can see traffic puttering along at, about 13 miles an hour or so on that side of town. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. We just talked about the Portland Fire a moment ago. We're talking about the team's future, of course, making their debut here next summer. But we're also talking about what they need to do to get ready for next year. That story after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
All morning long, we've been talking about Portland's new WNBA team, officially named the Portland Fire.
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 Okay. Now that we know the team's name, what is it again?
Portland Fire.
What's next for the team, I ask? Well, for starters, they definitely need to sort out their administration, right? Their front office. They still need to hire a general manager. They still need to hire a coach. They do have an interim president, Claire Hamill. We just talked about her a few minutes ago. But what they'll eventually need most of all are players.
And at the end of the season, the collective bargaining agreement between the WNBA and the Players Union expires. And with the league expanding and revenue booming, players want higher salaries.
I would want that regardless of any situation, right? Bottom line, it's a good time to be an expansion team because nearly every player in the league who is not on a rookie contract will be a free agent at the end of the season, and at that point, they can sign with any team they want. We talked about this a little earlier on Sunrise this morning. So rookie contracts, that means Caitlin Clark will not be available. Don't think about Caitlin Clark coming here to Portland, but some big names in the league will be available to sign, and that includes Sabrina Ionescu. Does Sabrina Ionescu want to come back here to Oregon and play for her professional team in Portland? That would be so cool, and what a great way to launch this team if they had a superstar like that to hang their hat on.
I think it was also Satu Sabali
Another,
up there as well.
Yeah, another former Duck who is available by way of free agency this offseason. So again, the Portland Fire will make their on-court debut almost a year from now, next summer.
The other thing I think that logo looks like, I mentioned this yesterday, see the rose and the flame?
Yep.
It looks like a hand.
Holding the rose?
The rose that's on fire.
Da 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 da.
It would have to be a hand wearing a special glove, though, because that rose is on fire, and that would be hard to hold without a glove of some sort, I would think.
That's true.
Baby, I can see I'm touched by the...
What do you, was that seal? Oh my God.
Oh!
I didn't get that either, Chris.
I was like, okay.
Is that the word?
I don't have Seal's greatest hits.
Senior year in high school, I think is when that song came out, right? 95, 96. All right, Spidey's back. Ah!
Whoa.
That's a big spider. That's why I ran.
It's a big scream.
He's just hanging out on the Wells Fargo sky camera. 72 degrees last check in PDX. As we've been mentioning, we are much warmer outside now than we were yesterday this time. 16 degrees warmer in Hillsborough, 17 degrees warmer in Aurora. I noted some of the temperatures along the Highway 26 corridor heading up towards Sandy and Government Camp, east of Sandy, that were on the order of 15 to 20 degrees warmer. So not only is the air down low warmer, but the air in the few thousand feet above us is warmer this morning than it was yesterday this time. And all that means that we are locked in on temperatures probably getting into the upper 90s this afternoon. 76 at Beaverton and Hillsborough, 74 Sherwood, 73 in Salem. Again, hour by hour, those temperatures inching up. Modeling shows PDX getting to about 87 at noon and then getting to 90 degrees in the noon hour before 1 o'clock, we think, and then continuing on from there into the upper 90s this afternoon. So the wind is, this afternoon, really hot. If you have to work outside, this is one of those days where you got to watch yourself, stay hydrated, and limit your exertion, take frequent breaks, etc. Heat advisory remains in effect until 10 o'clock for everywhere shaded in that peach-orange shading. The gorge, you're going to feel a hair dryer in the face. This is hair dryer in the face weather with the gusty east breeze from Cascade Locks west towards Corbett and temperatures in the mid-90s. The Dow's getting up to about 96. It's been kind of interesting, just from a weather geek perspective, to watch the marine layer peel away from the north coast this morning. If you were watching us earlier, this camera in Lincoln City was completely fogged in. The fog has peeled back. It's now sunny. It's cool. It's comfortable. It's 50 right now in Lincoln City. You're on your way to highs in the mid-70s, 76 in Pacific City, 73 in Astoria. So that will be one of the places to go to escape the heat. Our Chehalem tasting room camera in Sherwood shows a very hazy Mount Hood off in the distance. There is at least the possibility that some wildfire smoke begins to make its way over the Cascades from those fires burning in central Oregon. I don't think it's enough to impact the temperatures, with our forecast still 99 in Salem this afternoon. Not a record, but hot enough. 96 Battleground, Vancouver gets up to 98, And again, Portland, 96 was our previous warmest day of the year. Not a record, but I think we go for 98 this afternoon. So that's why the KGW weather impact alerts. It's just, you know, really watch what you do outside in the heat of the day. We cool down day by day, Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. Things look much, much better. All right, the drive starting to improve a little bit. I say that knowing full well I'm showing you a big red marker there. Whoops, for the drive out of Clark County. 30 minutes gets in from Main Street down to the Fremont Bridge. The end of the line has made its way down to the Interstate Bridge. Basically from there on in, traffic is zipping along a little bit better. There's the live look right now at SR 14. And a quick check of the trip through West Lynn. This is like an always thing, right through the construction zone near the Abernathy Bridge. That's southbound 205 and the exit to Highway 43. A little thick there, and then traffic speeds pick up. Guys, at this point, I don't have any major unexpected freeway delays at this time.
I might call that a cause for celebration.
Woohoo!
We're celebrating birthdays right now on the Sunrise Show, and we've got Everly kicking things off on today's list. Everly turns 8 today in Scappoose. Happy birthday there. Next up, it's Rio, the baseball champion, holding that trophy high and proud. Rio is 10 years old today. Next up, it's Gracie. Got that big birthday, number 21, out in Redmond. Happy birthday, Gracie. Brennan, super big smile, celebrating 6-0. Happy birthday, buddy. We've got a couple of twins next, Sandy and Cindy. They are 61 years young today. Then we've got Steve and his motorcycle. Steve is 83. Happy birthday, Steve Hicks. And then lastly, but not leastly, it is Owen, celebrating birthday number 88. If you have a birthday that you'd like us to shout out here on the Sunrise Show, just send us an email. The email address is birthdays@kgw.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
In our top stories this morning, we are tracking the latest on a weather impact alert. Several counties in the Portland area have opened cooling centers this week, with the city's hottest days of the year so far expected today. Clackamas County has 20 cooling centers open. Marion and Yamhill counties have also opened several cooling centers of their own. And in Washington and Multnomah counties, cooling centers are not open, but people can visit public spaces like libraries and community centers that have AC. The Cram fire burning northeast of Madras has doubled in size in the last 24 hours. It's grown to more than 40,000 acres and is still 0% contained. We have a time lapse right now of the fire from last night. You can see there. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek has greenlit more resources to help fight the fire. Roughly 300 people are now in the level 3 go now evacuation zones. And a reminder this morning, starting tomorrow, campfires, portable stoves, and personal fires prohibited in Mount Hood National Forest. It's always a good idea to check fire restrictions before you head to any local campsites or before traveling anywhere outdoors.
And the breeze will pick up, by the way, on that side of the state tomorrow. So that is something that we're watching for Thursday. For today, a KGW weather impact alert for the heat. 98 degrees this afternoon. We are off to a much warmer start today. So we were 91 yesterday. High confidence in upper 90s across the region, maybe 100 for some folks today. Let's get you out the door with a look at the roads. Inbound Sunset, one of our slower commutes at this point, and the end of the line there starts just inside of 217. Let me see if I can show you the traffic camera out there. This is out near Sylvan, of course, slow and go coming down the hill there. And the trip from Clark County, not as bad as yesterday. course, that's easy to do. It's so bad on
Jeez,
205
yeah,
anyway.
remember that.
I-5 is still 30 minutes to get you in from Main Street. That's good, though. The end of the line has just cleared the interstate bridge. It's still pretty thick through North Portland.
All right, one last story to get to. A volcano. Check this out. In Iceland, erupted again today, spewing lava and smoke into the air in what officials say is the 12th eruption since 2021. Nearby hotels and the famous Blue Lagoon were evacuated as a precaution. Despite the dramatic lava flows, there have been no disruptions to flights at the country's main airport.
Yeah, love to look at those pictures, and I especially like it when you say no destruction. So there you go. From Iceland, we move back to Hotland. Hotland being Portland today.
Hotland. Yes.
Brian Matthews, our esteemed director here on the Sunrise Show. Take as many Skycam shots as you'd like to close out the show today.
Anything look pretty?
I'm sure there's a lot that look pretty right now. Rose City Skycam for one, for sure.
Looks pretty.
So Chris is talking about those temperatures, maybe hitting 98 degrees today in Portland. If that turns out to be true, it would be the hottest day of the year so far in Portland. We do have more sunrise for you tomorrow and Friday, of course. We start at 5 o'clock every day, both on TV and right here on KGW+. But if you're watching us on Plus right now, we say thanks for finding us. This is the only place you can find the final 2 hours of our show every day, 7 to 9 a.m., KGW+.